be very, very frightened.
Hey guys! Today I'm going to review And Soon the Darkness from 1970. It's a British film directed by Robert Fuest, filmed in France. It was written and produced by Brian Clemens. The music's by Laurie Johnson. It runs 94 minutes and it only cost £260,000, and this film was popular, so it was remade in 2010. The film stars Pamela Franklin as Jane, Michele Dotice as Kathy, and Sandor Eles as Paul. So it's a really interesting film, this. The three stars in the film have been in other horror films. Pamela Franklin's famous for The Innocents in 1961. That's her first film, and she was only 11 when she was in it. And later she starred in Necromancy in 1972 and The Legend of Hell House in 1973. Sandor Eles was in The Evil of Frankenstein in 1964 and Countess Dracula in 1971. And he's also been in loads of TV shows like The Saint and Michele Dotice in Blood on Satan's Claw in 1970. Hey, that turned out to Some Mothers Do Have 'Em. That's right, Bones. She was in Some Mothers Do Have 'Em from 1973 to 1978. She played Frank Spencer's long-suffering wife, Betty. Frank! Frank! Is Frank Spencer the fucking killer? So with this film being produced by Brian Clemens, he's the guy who created this TV show, Thriller. Yes! A really excellent TV show. And this film's got the same style as this TV show. It was made just a few years before, and it's got that same creepy like music to it as well, like a strange music. And it's about women in peril again. There's these two girls who were biking through France, the nurses. They live in England and they're on holiday, and they split up because they have an argument, and one of them goes missing and the other girl's trying to look for her. So there's great suspense in this film. It's almost like Hitchcock. It's like really suspenseful. There's no gore in as well. So that kind of proves that sometimes horror thrillers don't need gore. I especially like the first act, first third of the film. Very tension filled, especially when the two girls have an argument. One of them wants to stop sunbathing, another one wants to continue biking, but the other one's sick. So Pamela Franklin's character Jane, she just continues going forward on her bicycle. Another girl, something happens to her. I won't reveal what happens and who the killer is or anything, because these type of films are best spoiler free. But you do guess, wondering who's the culprit. There's lots of different suspects in this film. And it's great acting by the two girls. I especially like the argument where one of them's wanting to do sunbathing. Hey, that dumb bugger, bloody sunbathing in the middle of bloody nowhere. Bloody thick bugger. There's some really weird music right at the beginning, the pre-titles. It's like really 70s music. You feel like you want to go dancing. But during the film, there's lots of suspense music, I kind of call it. It's a bit like the show Thriller. You get this like really eerie, creepy music as though someone's watching. So that's kind of what the film's all about. The locations are good. It's deserted France. There's lots of open spaces.
Bright sun.
Because when you're in England, you kind of feel safe. But when films like horror films or thrillers are set abroad, it always seems a bit more dangerous somehow, as though something could have, like, more chance of something happening. And I think this film was really well directed. There's lots of brilliant like close-ups of faces, point of view shots. There's a lot of tension-filled moments where, you know, something's watching the girls, especially the scene where she's sunbathing. You can tell there's someone spying on her, like her panties go missing, so you just know there's some person out to get her. And that's what happens in a lot of these thriller stories. The TV show Thriller, there's lots of girls who are getting stalked. It's very similar. It's almost like a film version of this TV show, even though it's made before the TV show. So if you like this TV show, you will like this film. It's another 70s gem, and it's full of suspense. It's well worth watching. So out of 10, I'll give it 8. 8 out of 10. What do you think, boys? Did you like it?
I thought it was a good one, Phil. And Frank Spencer didn't do the bugger.
Okay, everybody, bye. See you